Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we are going to talk about Pascal triangles. What are Pascal triangles and why do we even need them in programming? Well, today let's start with why. In permutation and combinations we often use NCR, which is nothing but n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. And how do you do that in programming? It will be surprising for you if you don't already know it. Pascal triangle is used to find NCR, and the fact that it is used to calculate NCR justifies why we need to understand Pascal triangle and master it. So now that we know why do we need Pascal triangles, we need Pascal triangles because they are used to calculate NCR, which is pretty much the basis of permutation and combinations. And permutation and combinations are always used for solving problem. And we use programming to solve problem. Therefore, we need Pascal triangles. So the question statement that we have over here is, given a positive integer n, return the nth row of Pascal triangle. Pascal triangle is a triangular array of the binomial coefficients formed by summing up the elements of previous row. Okay, we have to find the nth row of the Pascal triangle, and Pascal triangle is the triangular array of the binomial coefficients formed by summing up the elements of the previous row. We will use dynamic programming to form the Pascal triangle, and in the process we will also see how Pascal triangle resembles NCR notation. So now I will quickly draw the Pascal triangle. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1 and 1, 3, 3, 1. In case you are wondering how I'm coming up with it, so Pascal triangle is very easy to form. We just have to do the sum of the above two elements like this. 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 0, 1 plus 2, 2 plus 1, 1 plus 0. And that is how we form the Pascal triangle. Now let's take a moment to observe the resemblance with NCR notation. So this is 0C0, 0C1, I'm sorry, 1C0, 1C1. This is nothing but 2C1, 2C0, I'm sorry, 2C1, 2C2, 3C0, 3C1, 3C2, and 3C3. So we have row number as n and column number as r, starting with 0 indexing. So clearly Pascal triangle will, for the next row, will be 4C0, 4C1, 4C2, that is nothing but 6, 4C3, that is nothing but 4, that is the sum of the above two, 4C3, 4C4, that is 1, 1 plus 0. So clearly we can conclude that Pascal triangle is nothing but can be used for storing NCR values in a table. So now let's focus on solving our problem using the dynamic programming approach. Let me first just make this 2D array in the form that we are familiar with, and it will be easier for us in this way to visualize the solution and come up with a formula. So this is nothing but Pascal triangle for 4 rows. If I consider any element, it will be sum of the above two elements in the previous row. So the pattern over here is, if I call this element to have the position I comma j, what it is nothing but the element at I minus 1 comma j and element at I minus 1 comma j minus 1 sum together. So now we have reached the stage where we can easily form the formula for a DP array. Let's not call it the DP array this time, since we know this is NCR. Let's call the table, that 2D array that we are going to form, C. So Ci minus j element is nothing but the sum of the element at Ci minus 1 comma j and Ci minus 1 comma j minus 1. And this is right over here our solution to the dynamic programming approach. Let's switch to our editor and code our solution straight away. Over here we have the function nth row of the Pascal already defined, and I'll straight away start with coding the function. So I'll define the C as my 2D array, the table, and initialize all its element to 0. Now I'm making it n plus 1 comma n plus 1 in dimension because I'll be using one indexing. Now I'll quickly initialize the first element in our table, that is nothing but c1 comma 121. Now I'll iterate in the rows from 2 to n. So in each row I'll be iterating in the column from 1 to I. And for each iteration we know that the ci comma jth element is nothing but the sum of the upper two elements on the previous row. So it's ci minus 1 j plus the element before that, that is ci minus 1 j minus 1. And once we are done, I'll come out of the loop and return the last row, and in Python we can simply do it by this notation. Now I'll run the program and see if this works. So the fourth row is nothing but 1331, and that is what we were expecting. The program is running fine, and that's it.